Okay, Haribo, you can do this. Your team is relying on you. If this goes south, you're probably all dead, so let's just hope that old Tamagotchi charm can get you through like it always does. If it can get you into a lockdown lab, it can get you through a meeting with this Miranda. Although, she is mighty imposing. If all goes right and my disguise fools her, I might get to live it up as the front man for once. Things could get crazy tonight. Onlookers be warned. Hello everybody and welcome back to Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice, A Wider World. This season, a D&D podcast about 4 wayward adventurers out to rescue some goblins and figure out what's wrong with Wilhelm's hull. I'm Em, and I play Haribo Tamagotchi, changeling artificer not of this world, currently half-elf Haribo, and a nervous one at that. We're going to continue questions this week, but altering who we're asking. I've thought about this all day. Gabe, what's Miranda's biggest weakness? I need help.
Like sexually? For Plan D?
No, just Lauren spent all last episode asking what my biggest weakness was for some weird, dark reason that we never got to the bottom of, and I thought it would be very helpful if I started by asking what Miranda's biggest weakness was, if that seemed to pass last time.
That's fair.
I got a one-on-one meeting. Help.
Miranda's biggest weakness.
If you don't want to answer that, I actually came up with a different question. If you were like, nah, I just like would be good. But if if it works, hell yeah, I don't kind of use question 2. I'll hold it off.
Miranda's biggest weakness is that she thinks that she is holding all the cards in this situation.
To be fair, so does Haribo. But I don't know for sure. We'll find out.
If you want to ask a question, an easier, a more fun intro question, I'm happy to answer another one.
Just for some background stuff. I think that was a pretty decent answer. But just for some background stuff, what is what is Koryak's plan? Like, what was Koryak's plan? If none of this had ever occurred, what would his best life be living in his community?
Like, what if Haribo didn't exist?
No, yeah. Just before the goblins were raided.
Horizons.
Yeah,
you told him that space travel was real.
Oh, that's so hard. Actually, yeah, before, you know what? Maybe I'll come back to this question later to find out what his new goals are. Before Haribo opened up his eyes to the wider universe, what was like Koryak's ultimate end goal? What was his like life hoping to lead up to?
Maybe to fight the Lord, maybe to take on Dekram. Goblins
even while we were friends?
By nature? No, this is a what if you didn't exist question. Things are different now.
That's some pretty good news. Haribo's done something impactful, even if he doesn't know it. Or like, even if Koryak doesn't even like make those connections, that he doesn't necessarily want to do that with all these alterations, or that they've become enough friends or whatever.
It's always fun to ask non-canon questions.
Haribo's impact has been there.
What if the canon wasn't? Let's do our oh no movie reference. Christmas Story?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you're talking about the Ghost Christmas Pass?
I was thinking about the one where the bad guy's name is Potter.
Harry Potter.
Yes, that's the one.
There's 7 to 8 of those books.
Harry is low-key the bad guy a little bit sometimes.
He's absolutely the bad guy in the 5th one.
He's such a little...
And J.K. Rowling is the bad guy throughout all 8 of them.
Rowling is the bad guy of every year after that.
Oh, man. Leave that in.
As soon as she stopped writing them.
This is a J.K. Rowling hate account, and I'll say it with my chest.
I'll get it tattooed on my forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Leave that out.
Leave that out. No way. The whole thing's in.
My name is Lawrence, and I play the gelatinous bard Sparkeloneous. My question of the week is for Michael and Thaddeus. What hasn't happened in this adventure so far that you hope does? Because you've won 2 trial by combat so far, and I feel like that's pretty solid.
That's an excellent question. Well, Thaddeus, at this point, his goal is to go undefeated in single combat through the rest of the adventure.
Wow.
So
that's
that may be a completely unrealistic goal.
He'll find out.
He's 2 for 2 right now, and he's feeling probably overconfident.
Just confident enough.
Yeah. I guess what hasn't happened that he hopes doesn't happen is that he dies. Because then he would have failed his mission.
Yeah, then he obviously
never lose in combat. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, when you die, you fail all of your subsequent missions.
Yeah, exactly. So
Unless
we have Margery on the team.
that is true. We have Margery who wants to talk to you about your body's extended warranty.
Mhm.
That's
Extended
awesome.
purposes for me, yes. Please.
For me.
Oh, hell, Sharon.
Awesome.
Hi, my name is Grace Stringer, and I play Margery Ridgeback, our necromancer cleric. And my question is for Sparkeloneous. Sparkleoneous loves to go on and on about what a good boy he is. Has there been a time that he has not been a good boy? And what did he do?
Oh, yeah. There was probably a couple times when Sparkleoneous wasn't the best boy. Very childlike shenanigans, I would say. Sparkleoneous was definitely a prankster whenever he was growing up. I think his favorite prank was always I think we've previously discussed where he would melt himself into underneath the cabinets in his parents' house. So he would kind of do that in pretty much every sleepover situation, or, he would just hide in a place where no one thought anyone could get, but because of his anatomy, he could. And he would just sort of ooze out at inopportune times and scare people. Sort of like the SpongeBob episode, and the walls will ooze green slime, and then they go, oh no, wait, it's just Sparkeloneous.
I've never seen SpongeBob, but I will
That's
imagine
a classic episode.
And
Didn't
the walls
have
will ooze
cable.
green slime. Just imagine that.
Okay.
The walls oozing green slime.
It's wild how much I talk about I didn't enjoy SpongeBob growing up. To understand every single SpongeBob reference made around me is weird. I remember that episode for sure. Did not enjoy it, and don't think I watched it growing up. Because I didn't enjoy it, avoided it when it turned on, but somehow every time a reference is made, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember the fuck. Of course you remember the green sludge coming out of SpongeBob's walls. Of course. But I don't remember actually watching that.
Is it like House of Castle where he makes the slime happen? Where the ooze comes out of the walls?
Yeah, it is. That's kind of what it looks like, yes.
Yeah, kind of similar, definitely.
Circumstances are different.
But yes, yeah, kind of sludgy, nasty walls that are oozing. But
I never get to the bottom of what that slime is either in Howl's Moving Castle.
No.
Not in the book either.
They're just yuck, mop it up.
mop it up. So were
That's
Sparkeloneous' parents.
I'm Michael, and I play the dwarven fighter Thaddeus Ofkoot. My question is for Margery, and this I posted in the chat earlier, but for
It's
those of
true.
you who don't have access to our private chat, my question was,
I missed it.
what are your race or society's death rituals? And for Margery, I want to know from her urchin days, and then I want to know now that she's turned to the dark arts, what were her death rituals, and what are they now?
In her urchin days, because street life is so unpredictable, you hear about people dying, in your circle of other urchins, depending on how close they are to the circle of urchins. There would be maybe they would sneak in and we would splurge and buy a drink, and we all shared the drink and took a sip and said, Brendan. Sorry, I couldn't think of a name, so I just said Brendan. Brendan, we knew him well. We'll miss Brendan.
But you always know how much the urchins enjoyed the person they're drinking for by how much they spend on the alcohol.
It's true. It is so true.
What are they drinking?
Mhm.
Exactly. I know it's lost to my, it's not lost, but it's inaccessible to me. I have an enemy that I let take the fall for something.
Also, I thought you let down I thought that was a family member that you did that to.
No, both. Remember when
Both.
making my character cheat, and his name is I don't know. It's
Uncle
somewhere.
Carmine?
Well, there's Uncle Carmine, but then there's also the guy that I let go to jail because I stole a ring. I let him take the fall for it. Well, whoever his name is, she 100% faked her morning of him going to jail because that was, she did that.
His name was Miranda.
Wouldn't that be
We're gonna have 15 Mirandas in this story by the end of it, and you have to keep up with them, listener. You have to.
They all need distinctive voices.
And they're all spelled differently.
And Gabe, I guess you also have to keep up with him now.
I was just gonna lump anytime that our backstories require a character whose name we've forgotten. Miranda.
Miranda.
They just become Miranda.
It's either the same person or there's only like 3 or 4 of them.
Godfrey. It's Godfrey. I let Godfrey take the fall. He's my enemy. But anyway, enough about Godfrey.
Oh, God.
Ex-urchin, now prisoner. Still an urchin, though. I mean, come on.
He's still an urchin.
Urchin's got an urge.
Got urge.
He can no longer urge. He's in solitary confinement. I don't know. But for Margery now, I think she thinks of it as, when somebody dies, they're going to go serve Velsharoon, another soul for his reaping. So it's not really a mournful. I guess she hasn't had someone she cares about die in a while. So I'm not sure what her ritual would be. I guess when
she hasn't had anybody die in a while, but she did kill Gib.
I did kill him, but I brought him back. All right, I brought him back. Enough about this me killing Gib business.
Enough.
He's back. All right, he's just fine. Look at him.
Yeah.
I do actually focus myself on that you brought him back, and I do forget from what often. I often forget from what you brought him back.
Listen, it's not like I murdered him. I killed him on accident.
Did.
That was a directed attack directly at
I didn't murder him. I just killed him. And those are 2 different words. You're hung up on the wrong thing here.
Listen, enough about semantics, all right? I thought he was an evil kobold. It turns out he was our pet kobold, but then I brought him back, okay?
The 2 don't necessarily have to be mutually exclusive still. He's probably more evil now, maybe, than he was before.
Well, now it seems like I kind of have an eye. I can, mold him to my will.
He took shit from me. Under your nose.
All right, he didn't take shit from me.
He's pretty comfy getting up to shit, while you have your eyes on him, too.
And when we're watching him.
It's true. See, he's fine. I didn't do anything.
He took shit from me.
I mean, I'm not his keeper. I don't know what to tell you.
Yes, you are. You just claimed him. You just claimed him. You just claimed him. You are his keeper.
Dang it. Listen, Urchin's got to urge, all right? He gets it from me.
Urchin's got to urge. I'm going to say whatever I need to in the moment.
Oh, yeah, that's it. No,
And I'm Theodore Stringer, ready to bring you into our wonderful wider world. When last we gamed. Wait, who hasn't received a question?
No question for me.
You guys haven't gotten.
No question for me. What? No question. Throws phone on ground.
What's your greatest weakness? What's your second greatest weakness? No reason.
Damn it! I can't just list out my weakness. We're gonna be on the next few episodes. You're gonna be like, "What's your 10th greatest weakness?" And then there's gonna be a group of people around me with a bunch of orbs and bats that say you're stubborn on them. Like, I don't know.
He's gonna hit you with them. Stop being so stubborn.
We're not going to ask them in order.
Yeah, right.
Greatest weakness.
What's your fuck? Hold on.
Haribo, I'm sure that you consumed pop culture as a youth growing up in space times. So I'm curious what kind of pop culture or fiction or whatever does Haribo relate himself to now? Like, is there
This is so wild to me that you have asked this question, because I have just listened to an album that struck me in such a way. I didn't make the connection, but it feels very Haribo. It is by Logic. It's one of his most recent albums, these two guys are in space, and one of them, they're like, what are we gonna do while we're out on our like mission in space right now? Like, how are we gonna pass all of this time? We're gonna be here for months and months and months. And one of them's like, well, I have every piece of entertainment ever on this hard drive, and I can show you the best directors and the best music and the best whatever. And I feel like that is Haribo's, like, that's his way of connecting with people back home, is he has media. I'm going to steal this directly from Theodore. I'm going to steal it directly from you. He's got a fucking server of media on his wall. Music.
He's the Plex Lord.
Books. Yes, exactly. Movies, obscure television shows from the 90s, from the 2100s, like all over the place. Has like weird decryptions and loves just sharing old media with people. Loves it so much and misses it because he can't do that here. In fact, he hasn't done it on the podcast because this question has never come up to him or been done in this way for him. In stories around bonfires, some of the stories that Haribo tells of his times are of like the big climactic events in movies, right? People that he doesn't think he'll ever see again. I'm just telling a story. He's rehashed like fucking Godzilla and like the big mech fighting movies. I don't know, like all over the place that I couldn't come up with. Pacific Rim was the name of the movie that was trying to come to my brain in that weird specific moment. I've never seen that movie myself.
Don't bother.
Fine.
Don't bother. Exactly.
It's
Yeah. You know, but he has it on a hard drive, whether it's whatever or not. And they may say it's whatever, but Haribo's like, no. But you don't understand. Explosions from Michael Bay. They set out what action scenes would be in movies for years to come. Yeah, all over the board on movies and media.
So, which one does he think of when he thinks about his own situation?
Oh, shit.
I do appreciate all the backstory, because now I definitely do want to hear one of Haribo's campfire tales.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dang! Now I gotta like do a bunch of like I'm just gonna pull up a summary. Shit. Which one does he relate with himself? Oh,
No,
I
you
wish
can't pull
I
up a
had.
summary. You'd have to just do it from the top of the dome, as he would have.
Tell the
It's gotta be
bardic
real.
tale.
Yeah, but me describing him that way already gives him a massive upper leg to me on film and cinema. Like, he would already have a better knowledge of those movies than I do, because I haven't seen Pacific Rim and he's already referenced it. You know, I'm gonna go with that album. I'm gonna go with the album of the it's called Ultra 85 by Logic, from the year 2024 on Earth. It's incredible.
When last we left our intrepid heroes, we had looked at some things on Haribo's belt and then not talked about them as a group. Then we wagoned our happy asses up to a fortified goblin town, met with spears, and were taken inside. Haribo met a new character, Miranda. We don't know much about her yet.
Except her biggest weakness.
He's about to know, though. Ew.
Except her biggest weakness. Haribo comes in carrying a single card.
I have written on here your biggest weakness.
This is, well, she thinks she holds all of them, and Haribo has one.
You thought you had every card, but I went out and got another one. Let's see. We journeyed through the streets of this town. Thaddeus saw someone familiar to him.
A crafter from his clan of some kind, a smith, something along those lines. And then I think in the end, that was also the like emblem on whatever note was slid under the door, too, just to like tie that together.
Correct.
Yes, and that was going to be my other question, because we wrapped up the episode sort of in jail.
Yes. Haribo's belt finished its scan of the element, or of the like magic piece, and saw that it was a shifting element similar to all the other scans he had done, and it asked if he wanted to ingrain that into his belt, and he said, no, not yet, I'm gonna hold that off. And Sparkeloneous went over to another cell with some goblins and found out that all the goblins are being tested I guess, as to like what roles they'll fill best currently still up here in this town, but that they haven't been taken into the mountain yet because we got here fast enough. And then the note was slid under the door after Haribo was taken away. But I don't think the note said anything.
Well, we didn't get to read it. A note was slid under the door, and that's sort of where we wrapped. So
Yeah, wrapped on the note that we get to read right now. All right, Gabe, what does that note say? I'm just kidding.
Cliffhanger myself.
All right, I'm gonna catch you up, and now, what does that say?
Thanks for the catch up. I'll take it from here.
It's a great thing that D&D is improv all the way through.
It's a collaborative medium where you should take notes, and you shouldn't re-listen to old episodes in bed. The band Kissing Lips is
Kissing booth.
damn it.
Kissing
Every
lips.
time.
That was literally a fun joke mistake made last episode that I bet you were falling asleep just during, so it like really gripped into your brain. That's so funny.
I'm never going to not do it too. That one's just gonna.
That one's in there now. I know it is.
Maybe one of us messed up our thing, so one of us has a vest that says "Kissing Lips." So there's like a spare.
It's
That's
just that we
definitely
described the vests as having a Kissing Lips logo,
And
and that's how it's stayed.
Kissing
with me.
Lips, the symbol, not the two words on the vest. The band Kissing Lips is in the cage next to us, and that actually makes us a lot more nervous.
They're actually just all skeletons wearing vests.
He just didn't finish the sentence. He means that the band Kissing Lips is hanging from nooses outside of your cell.
No, Kissing Lips.
No, Kissing Lips.
The band Kissing Booth is in a cell, and you've been slipped a note. I suppose if any of you are keeping watch, you guys see the note. If you guys are not keeping watch, one of you looks up and discovers that a note has been passed your way.
It's just the three of us, right? Because
It is indeed. Haribo has been removed.
do you think we would have someone keeping watch at this point, gang, that's in here with me?
I don't know that we would necessarily be keeping watch, but there's not much to do in a prison cell but watch the door and see who comes by.
That is true. I don't think I'd be asleep. Do I roll for...
Nah, you guys, you two and whatever Sparkleoneous is up to are passing time wondering what could have befallen your bandmate, and you see a card shoot underneath the door of your cell.
But we don't... But can we see who it is?
You sure can't. It's a wooden door. Loses the magic if you can see who's sitting.
Wooden door on the front. We can't see out the front, but we can see through the bars in between the cells to the other prisoners to know just how imprisoned we are.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
can
fun.
I actually really quick get up and just slide a little bit of myself underneath the door to see if I can sneak a peek?
Oh.
Can I do like a speed check, dexterity check?
Yeah, give me a dexterity check.
All right.
Give me a
So
dexterity
Sparkeloneous
save, even.
gets up from where he was sort of sitting in a crouch position, and he does a very cool, well, potentially very cool knee slide to the door, and then I'll just try and get a little bit of my knees underneath the door to have a little look at who's over there. Bad news, gang, it's not a good knee slide. That's a 2.
Slams into the door.
Splat!
Thunk.
Sparkleoneous basically just spills.
You...
And melts the note.
That was supposed to be very cool. Now the note is stuck to me.
I will go
Oh,
peel
no.
the note off of Sparkeloneous and
You.
check
Oh
it
no,
out.
it's illegible and I don't have to come up with
No.
anything.
Oh shit, it's burnt a little bit. It's like all the ink got melted away first, unfortunately.
He absorbed the note. Quick, what did it say?
Sparkleoneous, what did it say?
While the note, you could decipher the ink.
Yeah, what did it say? What does it spell out?
The note says you have won 1,000 gold.
Yes.
Hey.
Find me to claim it.
Shit. No.
Something about a credit card number. No. Okay. The note is embossed. It's got like a stamp in the paper, but the scrawl on the note is both short and hurried. The handwriting is fairly sloppy, and it says Crafting Street beneath the Boar's Head sign, midnight.
All right.
All right,
I write down, I'm in a cell, and slip it right back underneath.
Wow.
Yeah, that person really has faith in us, huh?
I write key question mark and slide the note back here. All right, Boar's Head at midnight. Does anyone have a watch?
Can I?
Or a map?
Oh wait, no, that's down.
Wait, is it?
Yeah, no, it is. I was gonna see if I could roll to see if I could recognize the handwriting, but I don't. I don't know anybody.
I don't know anyone.
I'm not gonna say. Look, look.
You can.
In D&D, you can do. I will say, we did say this off the bat. You can do whatever you want, man. But
you jerk! I told you it was dumb. You can't laugh.
no. You're right. You're right. I don't even know that idea.
Not you. The one related to me. Cackling.
I love it as an idea.
Laughing.
That was a funny idea. That was a good one.
How does everyone feel with trying to get out of here at midnight? Do you think that's a good idea? Or should I just go by myself?
Sparkleoneous, can you turn your mass into a key and cast stone skin and then make your key out of your... Then you just have a key for a little bit till the spell wears off?
I mean, I've never tried, but, I feel like I could maybe just jam myself up in there. And if I roll the dice high enough, maybe I could get the door open. Metaphorically, so to speak.
Sleight of goo check.
I don't know if I have anything I can say to refute that. I'm not going to say it's an easy check, but I think you could definitely make a check to just sort of stuff yourself into a lock and unlock it.
Whoa, Sparkeloneous.
Is it midnight?
Is there any way for us to check to see if someone's coming before he goes out there to do his work?
I don't need to go out there to do it. I can do it from under the door. I don't want to talk about how, but I can.
Oh.
It's a little embarrassing.
Wait, isn't this a wooden door? Couldn't you just smack yourself up against it and eat the door?
Yeah, but then there wouldn't be a door.
You're out of doors.
Wait,
I would be full and there wouldn't be a door.
No, can't you just eat the wood around the lock then?
Yeah.
So then the lock falls out?
From one side over several hours, probably.
Well, what time is it now? Till midnight.
I don't know.
Oh, we're in a cave? Oh no, we can't see the sun.
No, we weren't in the cave.
We're not in a cave.
We hadn't made it into the cave.
Last time I checked, it was a cave.
Oh.
He said both. Gabe said both syllables, so it's
I don't know
both.
if any of us
It's
have a clock, so I don't know.
There can't not be windows. There's
What
a
if
window.
what if I
into
go,
the next cell, yeah.
God, what time is it? Please help, God, what time is it?
Oh,
A
God.
prisoner from down the line shouts.
A hole in the universe opens up beneath you and you drop into it. What time is it?
The very last cell,
You got steak
it's
sauce
like
on your
telephones down the line to Sparkeloneous that it is.
4 p.m.
There you go.
I could probably eat the door over that much time. What is that? 8 hours?
Competent band like yourselves can definitely get yourselves out of prison before midnight.
In 8 hours.
We need to come up with some way that the gods won't know, though. We would put them on high alert quite quickly, I feel like, if I just ate a hole in the door.
All right,
I'm sure you guys-
Then try your key magic first.
Is
And
Barson
Haribo's-
here with us?
Is her with us?
Barson?
Is Barson here too?
Hello?
Yeah, part of me is like he's asleep, but there's no way. It's 4 p.m. and you guys are in Goblin.
Is he drunk?
He didn't have enough time to get drunk.
Yeah, with how much that he drinks when you guys aren't moving, he doesn't drink when the wagon's in motion. Sober driver. So Barson is huddled up corner of the cell, probably closest to Thaddeus. Was there a question for me?
No, I was just curious if he was there. That was it.
Barson, can you pretend to be 5 people in a cell?
I could probably pretend to be 2 people in a cell.
Alright, so someone needs to stay with Barson.
What is this plan?
We can have 3 of us go out. Wait, Haribo's not here. We can have 2 of us go out and meet the noteman at the Boar's Head in the crafting district at midnight. And then if the guards come, you guys can have a conversation with the 4 of us.
Haribo, can you split in half? Not Haribo, sorry. Sparkeloneous, can you split in half?
I don't
Can you
know,
be
I've
in
never
2
tried.
places? Can you be in 2 places at once?
I don't know if the world is ready for 2 Sparkeloneuses.
Well, maybe just a little one in here. And then the rest of you could go
Just a
on the
little
meeting.
one.
I don't think I want to do that.
We haven't really discussed Sparkeloneous making mini Sparkelonii.
That's
What
why
if, what if mini Sparkeloneous can never come back to me?
you have a
Yeah, that
son.
feels risky.
Then you'll have to raise him as your own.
I'm not ready for a child.
You won't be alone anymore. There'll be 2 of you.
I can't even raise Gib.
Okay.
And Gibb's in here too, right?
Yep. Gib
Hey,
is
Gib.
asleep, though.
Gib, wake up, Gib. Can you pretend to be 2 people?
Wait, if you Barson, Gib, me, you, Thaddeus. 3 people can go, 2 people can stay. Just they both can't be Gabe. Because then it would just be Gabe talking to Gabe in
Yeah, and then Gabe will roll good on his dice, and then Gabe will let Gabe stay undetected, right, Gabe?
And if not, he'll give himself
Right.
advantage.
So we could split up the group and 2 could go and 3 could stay. Because there are multiple of us.
I will say that I think the math has been done wrong along the way, and I just want to pitch this in from the outside. Only one can go if Barson can be 2 people, right? Because he can only
Barson
take the
does
place
2
of 1
people.
person.
Nah, you don't need to do Barson.
Well, I'm just saying
Okay.
there's enough characters that you don't need to pretend. There literally are enough people to talk and be bodies while the other group goes if we count NPCs as. But they are people too.
You heard it here first.
So the plan is to
I don't know.
leave Gib and Barson in the cell, loudly pretending to have a conversation.
No, only if the
Midnight.
guards come and say, "Hey, what are you doing in there?"
That's so bad. That's such a bad idea.
Have Gabe convince himself that it is 5 people in that
Are they?
cell.
I mean, come on. Are they gonna do anything at midnight? Come on. This
This
is
is a
just last ditch
test.
efforts. Unless they do what? A test?
Unless this is like some sort of
Weird midnight test.
for you to test.
Yeah,
somebody,
but
it would be
the
at midnight.
symbol on the note was one I recognized from my home clan, so I'm willing to
Yeah, and
take a
I'm pretty
leap of
sure
faith.
I'm pretty sure myself or someone else saw a dwarvish person before we came in here.
Yeah, I spoke a greeting to him in Dwarvish, but I did not
Oh.
receive if he responded. But I'm assuming from the note that maybe this is him.
Maybe they noticed the response. Yeah, I think we should try and go. I mean, any allies would be helpful in this situation. I mean, what if Plan D doesn't go well?
I mean, we'll know soon enough, I guess. Well, 4 p.m. It's 4 p.m. now.
All right, Boston, let's hear it.
Yeah,
let's hear some practice.
Yes, it's 4 p.m. No, it's more like 4:15 now.
I'll pretend to be the god.
At this
Bang,
point,
bang,
like,
bang. What are you doing in there? And now go, Boston.
Nothing. You're definitely not escaping.
Oh God!
Oh, Margery has her head in her hands. So does Grace.
That's right. I'm Sparkeloneous.
I want
I
to
do
hear
say that a
Gabe's
lot.
impression.
And now, Gib, you do Thaddeus and Haribo.
Yeah, give do
Do
Haribo. I'm
Shut up
dying
or
over
I'll
here.
throw you in a pit of spikes.
Oh no!
Oh, sad.
I'm fully confident in this performance already.
What could possibly go wrong?
So the 3 of us will go at midnight, and
Oh,
you
God,
2 will stay
no.
here.
This is such a bad plan.
Yes, sir, boss. You can't possibly see this going wrong.
Oh, I hope Haribo gets back. Oh, God.
No one's
Haribo's
told me
gonna
no
come
yet.
back to a cell of Gib and
Oh, wait, yeah, when they
Oh,
bring
it's fine.
Haribo
I can
back.
hear them talking. Opens the door.
they're gonna open the door. Haribo's gonna be like, ah, yes, all of my friends. What the? Yes. Yeah, good to see you, Thaddeus.
Yeah, they're gonna know that we're gone as soon as they bring Haribo.
What, they're
back.
gonna bring Haribo back at midnight? That's when Plan D happens. He needs to stay there at midnight.
Well, Haribo Plan D isn't happening right now. There's not a time schedule for this sort of thing.
He'll probably
Star
come back-
wipe.
Haribo is sitting at a long table. The table is laden with bowls of fruit that the goblins have brought and then left. On the other side of the table sits Miranda. She has one leg crossed over the other, is leaning on the arm of her chair, and is just watching you to see what you do with the fruit.
Oh boy, I literally am glad I waited because I almost interjected and said Haribo is just gnashing that fruit, but I'm super glad I waited because Haribo is gonna see this moment almost gnash all that fruit because he's hungry and like fruit is so good. Like fresh fruit. Are you kidding me? I'm about to destroy. All we've had is Margery stinky meat.
Stop that!
So Haribo will take in that she is watching him. He is going to meet her gaze and say, quite a lovely spread you have here. What kind of fruit we have?
Grapes and raspberries, slices of apple, and a chunk of honeycomb.
Haribo is torn between looking at Miranda and waiting until she makes the first move as the host he thinks is the best piece of decorum. He doesn't know what their decorum is, so he's just making a guess. Oh, fuck, maybe he thinks it would be good to ravage the food. He's stuck in this thought. He doesn't know. He's gonna wait, but he is eyeing the raspberries. Raspberries are not a fruit that he comes across often, or did before either.
Miranda gestures to the fruit and she just says, "Please, eat your fill.
Fuck. I'm bad at this.
Would you like something to drink to go alongside it? Water?"
Yes, I would
Beer?
love it. I would love some of your finest beer. The hobgoblins at the most recent settlement had some incredible hooch that I might think is hard to match. I only had, he whispers, 1 cup. And I got floored. I can't imagine that your hooch is better. He looks her in the eye, challenging her.
She cocks an eyebrow and she says, "Unbeatable hooch, you say?"
It was incredible.
She snaps a finger and a goblin enters the room and she barks a quick set of syllables in goblin.
Do I understand any of the basics as I have started with my
Make an
auto
intelligence
translator?
save.
Fuck yeah.
Make an intelligence save. I'd say this would be a moderately difficult one because they are speaking fast.
That's okay. He's nervous. Intelligence save. Oh, he gets a little bonus to that. I remember from being the only class he is. So that's +5, 12.
There's definitely the word fire in there.
I can't even begin to think I know what that means. I nod and I guess I reach towards some raspberries as they do that, and I take them. I take a moderate amount and some grapes as well because I don't want to seem like I'm. No, fuck it. Haribo goes in. Haribo goes in. He grabs a whole fucking like grab of fruit, raspberries and grapes. He's mostly going to focus on the raspberries, but he didn't want to seem, for some reason, focused on them. I don't know why he feels that way. That's like weird, but he shouldn't feel
Important
focused
that you
on
not
raspberries.
show off what your favorite fruit is.
Exactly.
Because that's one of your
Doesn't-
weaknesses.
That's my weakness, raspberries.
It's his 4th one.
It's number 4. Number 4 is raspberries. So he's gonna do that, but he's gonna eat like he's fucking here to perform. He's here to party. That's what he's here for. And Haribo walked into this thinking that, obviously. That's what he's here for. He's here to party, and this is a moment to party before he can party. So he's gonna eat like he's partying. He's asking for their best alcohol. He's here for it.
Yeah, you get in there. The fruit is delicious. I think on your second handful of fruit, 2 goblins come in. One of them is carrying a wooden tray with 2 very small wooden cups, and the other is carrying an enamel jug, probably half gallon in size.
Weakness number 3 is definitely a challenge.
They pour a pale, cloudy liquid into each of the cups, and then the goblin bearing the tray reaches into his pocket and draws out a small pouch and gives the pouch just the barest little tip tap over each of the little cups, and then takes one and puts it in front of you, and then goes to the other side of the table and takes one and bows all the way so that he doesn't look Miranda in the eyes, and places the other cup in front of her, and then the 2 goblins scuttle out of the room.
Does Haribo recognize, or would he be able to know what that powder is from any of his experiences across his travels?
History check.
It's iocane powder.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was waiting for you to say it.
Edible glitter.
Roy Hypnol, I got a 19. I just wanted to include something, but it shouldn't be that. Don't pick mine.
Yeah.
Who's Roy Hypnol?
Who's that? That's my next D&D character.
God.
I'm going to take him in a super
based on,
different direction.
Prescription drug names is
D&D
it's an interesting
villains,
idea.
maybe.
Going out to fight gemcitabine.
Yeah. Roy Hypnol has to be a bad guy. There's no hero hiding in the darkness on that one.
Yeah.
Roy Hypnol's here to sell you a boat.
Yep. The boat. I got a 19
Okay.
on the powder check.
The powder you are not sure of. It was pale green in color and has mixed into the cloudy beverage with no discernible amount of it left. It mixed right in. A 19, though.
That's concerning.
The drink itself, it's an Underdark beverage made by incredibly complicated filtering processes using aquifer water and a few other special things.
Chasma brandy. I've only had the opportunity one other time, though I have not seen the
Good
mix.
for polishing rocks and turning off your brain.
Sure.
Bottoms up. She raises her little...
To a fun night. And Haribo would like to make a check. This check is... It's like a speed notice check. This is what M does when he thinks he may not be partying with someone who is partying, right? There are people that you party with who don't actually party, who pretend to. And I feel like you have to be on a watch out for those people because they are not drinking their drink. Some people are just being safe, and that's okay. Totally chill. But other people are pretending they're drinking a bunch of shots with you when they're not, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is Haribo's thought.
You want to see if Miranda's gonna...
If Haribo really thinks she is drinking the shot, he'll pound the shot basically alongside her. It's basically, I think, an insight check, right? Does he fully think that this is occurring?
Insight, yeah.
Okay. 14.
Yeah, she fully intends to pound this shot.
Pounds this shot then.
Mysterious contents or not.
She knows what the contents are at the minimum, Haribo thinks, and so he pounds the shot. Let's go. We're partying.
Yeah,
to a good show, he says.
To a good show, indeed.
And he continues to eat the raspberries. And a grape in between here and there.
Here and there,
cover.
but mostly...
Ridiculous.
It's all of us with our bad plans.
This is awful. Oh my gosh, we're so dumb.
We were never run down on this full plan, so he'll have to get to the bottom of what Plan D means along the way. But first he's going to drink this copious amount of high-proof alcohol and figure out what that means. Do they leave the bottle, or do they take the bottle with them?
They take the bottle with them.
Then instead of, I think, slugging down the shot, because that's not the vibe with a high...
She necks it, just by the by.
Okay, then I don't need to never mind. Yeah. Haribo already slammed it. Let's go.
Haribo.
Haribo already slammed it.
Sorry.
The beverage is... I've only run into this occasionally, like with... Lawrence has bottled water that he especially likes that is, like, softer I don't know how to quite describe
Oh, it's the softest water.
the softness or hardness particularly of a beverage, but this is a very soft alcohol as far as that metric goes, and due to that, the alcohol is hitting your mouth in different places than it usually would. You feel it on the underside of your tongue and like on your cheeks. It doesn't seem to have that much of a flavor. It's like alcoholic spring water, basically. So like you're looking for metallic notes. Let's see. Make a Constitution saving throw.
That feels fair. I don't know what I've just ingested. Constitution, huh? I need to look up which ones I have proficiency in just to make sure.
It's not a great sign.
It isn't a good sign, no. It's not good at all. I just want to make sure. It's like the difference of above or below a 10, and it's above a 10. It's an 11 rather than a 9.
The result is an 11?
Yes.
Okie doke.
I'm not the partier of the band. I'm just pretending to be. Sparkeloneous can handle his powder.
Miranda watches you consume all this fruit.
Well, I'm not going to consume more than what I've grabbed initially if she doesn't consume any.
She doesn't eat the fruit. She says,
I'll come to a stop.
"So, Haribo, one of my wards tells me that you have something of a unique relationship to magic.
I don't know quite what you mean.
I was
I don't know.
hoping that you could tell me." She expressed a surprising degree of loyalty in not divulging your own personal business. But I must admit I find myself curious.
No, sure. And I consume a raspberry. I have a gift from my peoples that is, I don't know how to put it, attuned to myself, that I'm able to wield. Sure, not different than any of your other, I don't know, spellcasters out there. I've run across a few. I believe we are called artificers here, but I'm not quite sure. I make things happen, and they do a little bit more usually than I plan on them doing in the first place. And he continues to eat a few berries. How does he feel?
So far, so good. It's nice to have fruit.
Yeah, he picks up his shot glass and he says, I mean, the Chasm Brandy was a fantastic beginning, but could we get some proper beverages up in here? A shot to begin a party is always a strong foot forward, but let's get the drinks flowing now, am I right? M would never do this, to be clear.
Like, damn, I'm all right.
M would never. But I'm Haribo. And I have a lot of things on my back.
She raises her eyebrows at you and she says, "All right, big spender."
Oh.
And she snaps her fingers again, and I think a group of goblins come in this time. One of them has water, and one of them has mugs, and a group of them are carrying a holder for a keg, which they set up on the table with the spigot ready for you to top yourself off. But they fill up a frosty glass with a dark ale, and they plonk it down for you, and they all scurry away and leave. Miranda takes a sip of her water and looks
Haribo
at you, and she's
drinks all of his water. He knows he's in for a night.
Miranda says, "You're free to drink whatever you like. There's no need to follow my example. I prefer to do this sort of thing on an empty stomach."
Oh. Oh.
He takes an equaled measured sip and says, "Do what?"
Commune with the world. I always find that it's only when I have placed myself outside myself that I can really see and work on myself. You see?
I think I do, Miranda. This drinking stuff is not always the route I'd prefer, actually. I think I'm finally understanding this first shot, and he pushes away his mug. He is gonna look around for a loaf of bread, see if he can hack himself off a piece real quick and consume the inside. Fuck the crust. He doesn't have time. He loves the crust. I love the crust. He's gonna ignore that shit right now, just real quick, and pound down just a good elbow of the interior of this bread, and he's gonna toss it away. He says, all right.
She watches those proceedings with a mild amount of mirth.
I just like to prepare. I like to be prepared. You like to do it on an empty stomach. It has proven for my body time and time again that a full stomach will push me through, as it were.
To each their own. Certainly.
Are we to, he looks around the dining room. Are we to, journey in here?
No, this is just the first room of our journey.
Oh, sure, I guess I'm in for a night. And he tightens the belt one rung. So back to your questions, he says, and he passes his hand in front of his face just to see if there's any trails yet.
Starwipe.
Oh no.
Is there anything that you guys do? Anything you try and find out before midnight?
I definitely think Sparkleoneous is going to try and make a concerted effort to, like, know what time, like, guards swap out and stuff like that. Because I feel like once a guard checks in on us once, they're probably not going to check in on us again. Like, over this next several hours, like, do we get checked on? Do they look in on us often or at all? That kind of thing. Doing some recon.
The guard shift changes every 4 hours. The guards don't really come in to check on you too much. I think there's one instance where they let a group of younger hobgoblins in robes into the cell next to you, and they all stand in the cell and they look at you guys and they talk amongst themselves and they look at you guys some more and then they leave. But other than that, no, the guards don't pay a whole lot of attention to you guys.
Sick. That's just what we want. If they don't pay attention to us, they don't know what we sound like, and that means that Barson will be all the more convincing.
Indeed. And Barson is
Practicing?
Yes. Barson's practicing. Barson's sitting with Margery and Thaddeus, and he's like, all right, say some stuff for me, and then I'm gonna be you.
All right, Barson, I sound like this.
This is what I sound like. just like this.
Oh no.
Oh no.
This is just not gonna work. I don't know. Well,
This
I think it's going
This
perfectly.
is just not gonna work. I don't know. Oh no. This is what you sound like. Oh no.
that's so rude.
Yeah,
All right.
well, the
All right,
hobgoblins don't know, so they might think that was her. We didn't go through an interrogation when we came in here, so
We didn't go through an interrogation.
you got to
Get
be a
lost
little
in
more
it.
gravelly if you're going to sound like Thaddeus.
I don't know how much gravel I've got in me.
Ah, there you go.
He's
That's
growling.
more like it.
Just make that noise. That's perfect.
It's too bad Haribo isn't here. I gotta figure out how to do his voice too.
What
No,
about Gib?
I'm dying over here. This is incredible stuff. I don't know about you.
What voices is Gib doing? Or Gib doing?
I'm just me.
I like that we off
just do the Gib voice.
off screen we voted that Gib wasn't gonna do voice.
Yeah, no, while we were doing Haribo's scene, Gib was trying to imitate you too, and it just didn't go well. Star wipe. Miranda is talking to you, and she says, How much do you know about toads, Haribo? There's a species of toad that lives in the Underdark
Fuck.
that no one can eat. And this is because it produces a powerful neurotoxin in its skin.
Arbo smacks his lips. Oh no. I have, if I recall properly, I think I experimented with a few toads in, with some fairies maybe along the way. I'm not sure. Toads? What are we talking about? We're here to perform a show.
What neurotoxin did?
Death flag.
These toads, for a long time, no one could figure out what to do with them. But over time, they started to take them. They would take the skins of the toads and they'd set them out in the sun. And they would dry and they would ferment. And they would take these skins and they would grind them down to a powder.
He drinks some more water.
And for a long time, this powder was just used to coat blow darts and things for hunting animals, known back then as the jerk and stumble, because of the odd gait that the animals would take up after being darted. I myself have found a new way of putting it to use. What may be a deadly neurotoxin in the bloodstream could also be quite the potent mental stimulant.
The stimulant, you say?
I do indeed. As the prime warlock of my tribe, I have to know my way around these things.
Sure.
And nothing lets me come closer to interacting with my magic than toad powder. And I wanted you with me on this journey, Haribo.
Sure, and we're performing tomorrow, right? Right? we're gonna sleep through tonight and perform tomorrow at the big bonfire, right? He drinks a little bit more water. Why can't we just enjoy the toad powder? He says as the screen begins to fade to black. Why can't we just enjoy the toad powder tonight and perform tomorrow?
Haribo, you're far too interesting to allow for any kind of delay of that sort.
Well, experimental music does do best under the influence, and I guess that's what we are here to play. Whoa.
One pill makes you taller.
A brief scene. The band Kissing Lips is in a cell.
Oh, maybe. I don't know, actually. Hold on.
They had come to the town of Dekram 2 days ago, set to perform. They'd heard that the bard Sparkeloneous was doing part of his favorite Sundown series, and they thought that they would cash in on that good branding while they could. So they had come to Dekram for the Sundown Showdown 3. Unfortunately, they were outed immediately by big fans of the franchise of not being part of the Sundown Showdown touring company, and were thrown in a cell. Fortunately, almost immediately after being thrown in the cell, the world started to end. From being in the cell, they weren't sure what the situation was, but they could see some of the major players. They could see Lord Thorn issuing orders from his chair. They could see members of the town guard running hither and yon, mostly carrying supplies, occasionally carrying weapons. And later on, they could see the haggard faces of the townsfolk as the entire town retreated within the secondary walls of the keep. The frontman for Kissing Lips, a bard by the name of
Sparkeloneous.
Gotta do better than that.
No way. They're following along
Miranda.
with Kissing Booth. There's no way his name would not be a play on Sparkeloneous.
Fair enough.
Let me think.
Fair enough.
He's Shinelonious.
A halfling called Sparkeloneous.
Sparkeloneous.
Awesome.
Looks up from his cell to see a brawny youth standing in the doorway. He is splattered with some sort of monster gore. His frame fills the doorway. He steps inside and he says, Sparkeloneous.
Stop.
As you can see, our town is in danger, and we're putting together something of a group to do something about it. The head of our group wanted me to come and talk to you, see if you wanted to form a compact with us.
Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening in from. It's a huge help to getting the show out to new audiences. This episode of A Wider World was DM'd by Theodore Stringer. The players were Lawrence Jennings as Sparkeloneous, Grace Stringer as Margery Ridgeback, Mike Harrison as Thaddeus Ofkoot, and myself, M. Williams, as Haribo Tamagotchi. Our next episode will feature Lawrence Jennings as DM for our Candle Night Spectacular. He's bringing us back to Warhammer 40k with Dr. Strahd, Vern, and the disgraced DOG 24601, along with a new character played by Mike Harrison. So make sure to tune in on December 26th to listen in. We will see you then.
Oh, man.
And Sparkeloneous says, I'm made of Sparkeloneous stuff.
I made of Sparkeloneous stuff.
I don't think he's going to survive the interview.
No, he has to be our villain. I'm so sorry.
I want to rescue him.
I'm here to stop you.
Nope, I don't even know if I can do that voice.
Wilhelm, your hole is sealed.
Amazing.
Nope.
Nope.
Sparkeloneous wanted you. Sparkeloneous asked you kindly to.
Sparkeloneous.
That's too bad.
That's pretty sufficiently bad. I'm made of Sparkeloneous stuff.
There you go.